Hey gang, and welcome to another Animal Crossing video. I'm Crossing Channel, and Nintendo has finally announced their upcoming Nintendo Direct, which is a part of the E3 2021. I'm super excited for this, and I think everyone else is too, and many of us are wondering if they'll announce anything for Animal Crossing New Horizons during this little Direct. Now personally, I've thought about this a ton and gone over the most realistic options that I possibly think Nintendo could come up with for Animal Crossing New Horizons during this E3 segment. So in this video, I'll be taking a look at 3 possible options for what we could see at E3 2021 for Animal Crossing New Horizons. Could we see some kind of big update that'll be incredibly exciting? Will we see maybe some kind of crossover, or worst of all, could we see nothing at all? Well, let's jump into the video and see what's likely for E3 2021. If you're excited for this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more Animal Crossing content. Before we get into this, I want to quickly mention this video is sponsored by Disney Pop Town. Download the game by using my link in the description. I'm currently hosting a giveaway for the game, so if you want to enter, all you have to do is download the game using my link in the description, get to level 50 in the game, and send me a screenshot of that on Instagram at Crossing Channel. It's as simple as that, and you'll be entered into a giveaway to win a 1-year membership for Nintendo Switch Online. So make sure you enter before June the 13th, which is when the giveaway ends. Thanks to them for sponsoring, and let's get into the video. Number 1, the big update. So you guys might remember at the start of the month there was a lot of talk about data mines with Animal Crossing New Horizons in the 1.10 update, and some really interesting new things were discovered, like evidence of fence customization, some kind of museum upgrade including the cafe, and lots and lots of people were talking about this. Now what's really interesting is that this stuff resurfaced so close to when E3 is happening, which I think naturally made a lot of people think that potentially we could see some of these goodies during E3, which would be incredibly exciting. Now of course the cafe would involve characters that we've waited for so long, like, dare I even say his name on this channel now, Brewster, and of course things related to him like Gyroids, which no doubt would come in hand. Of course that would be a very big update akin to the types of updates that we got in early 2020, such as the summer updates, the April update, and to an extent even the Halloween update. I think a lot of us are waiting for a big update like that again, and with the recent update schedule that Nintendo has had, it's made a lot of us doubt that they might ever do an update like that again. So I think this would potentially be the perfect remedy for Animal Crossing New Horizons right now, the type of update that everyone is waiting to see. And even though I think a lot of people might think to themselves that this stuff from the data mine isn't that reliable, I do find it very interesting that there is so much of it that has resurfaced lately. It does really seem like something has changed. It doesn't seem like code that Nintendo has left behind for the cafe or anything like that. It seems like something they're still actively working on. Of course, data mines can be misinterpreted, so nothing is confirmed on this front, but we should see very soon whether they intend upon doing more big updates with the game like we saw last year, or if they really are just going to continue with small seasonal updates like we've seen through most of 2021 so far. Even though data mines usually do get doubted these days, I do think it's worth mentioning that last year some of the data mines which were done by Ninja proved a lot of things right. In fact, they data mined Crazy Red and his art, they data mined Bushes and Leaf, even the Dream Suite as well, and all of those things came to the game. So I do think there's still some hope in the data mines. Of course, maybe Nintendo did actually code Brewster and this exciting stuff like gyroids and fence customization, but maybe they just didn't want to add them to the game for some reason. Nintendo doesn't really talk about these types of things. Of course, they're not going to talk about data mines because it's completely, unofficial and something they don't like very much. So I just find it very interesting to see if this will actually come out at any point, or if maybe it is scrapped content. But I did think it was worth mentioning that even though a lot of people don't feel so encouraged about data mines now, they did prove to be true most of the time in Animal Crossing New Horizons in the past. So hopefully we will see this data mine actually come true, and we'll get some kind of big update for E3. Number 2, a crossover with The Legend of Zelda. I think a lot of you saw this one coming. It does seem natural for Animal Crossing New Horizons to do some kind of crossover for Zelda's 35th anniversary, which of course is happening this year. I think a lot of people are expecting some big Zelda news at E3, and what a perfect crossover it would be with Animal Crossing New Horizons. There are so many different Zelda items in the series, and of course you can't forget about the amiibo Zelda villages, which are highly beloved, which were introduced in Animal Crossing New Leaf. So I definitely think some kind of crossover will happen at some point, whether that's this year or just at some other future time. I think since we saw the Mario crossover with the game, it's incredibly likely that we will see one for The Legend of Zelda as well, with all the different items. The Mario update wasn't the most exciting thing, it mostly did just introduce new items to crossover, so I think if we do see some kind of Zelda announcement at E3, it'll just be something they kind of gloss over very quickly. In fact, they might not even show any footage or reveal any details about this crossover. They might simply say that it's coming in the future like they did originally with the Mario update. If you guys don't remember, the Mario update was announced way ahead of time before we actually got it. I believe sometime in September compared to when it came out in March and we got more details. So yeah, we may actually be waiting quite a while to see it come to the actual game, but I do think an announcement would be good and would probably get people pretty excited, because I think it's safe to say if we do get the Zelda items in the game, which there's actually a lot in the Animal Crossing Welcome Amiibo update for the past game, you know, maybe we could see the villagers come too, which would be fantastic. Adding new villagers to the game is great. I like that the Sanrio ones came back, so I definitely think they could do that with The Legend of Zelda. Number 3, nothing. This is of course the harsh reality that many of us don't want to face, that there could actually be nothing said about Animal Crossing New Horizons at all during E3 2021. Now, I don't like to be a downer on this channel, I don't want to be too pessimistic, but I do like to keep my expectations in check, which I think is fair after a lot of disappointment with previous updates. It is entirely possible that Nintendo might not come out with anything for Animal Crossing New Horizons. No big update like we've wanted, and definitely no crossover either, which would be a big shame if we didn't get either of those announced. I personally don't think Nintendo is going to announce the next seasonal update here. That will probably happen sometime in July, and the reason for that is because they need to update the Fireworks Festival for 2021. Those are currently not in the game, so they'll have to do some kind of update for then, and also to introduce more seasonal items for August and September as well. So we'll definitely expect to see that seasonal update, but a different kind of update, like something big I mentioned at the start or a crossover, it seems like those would probably only be announced at E3, so if we don't get some kind of announcement then, we may not be seeing any more big updates for Animal Crossing New Horizons, which would certainly be a shame. But personally, I would like to say positive. I do think there's a possibility we'll get some kind of Animal Crossing mention. It is pretty much their biggest Nintendo Switch game at the moment. It is pretty much the best-selling Nintendo Switch game compared to, well, it's right next to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which came out quite a while before it. So I don't think they're going to completely neglect the game and just do small updates from now on. I do think we're going to see bigger stuff, but who honestly knows what Nintendo's plan is for this game? They've been very vague and confusing about what they're doing, so only time will tell. But E3 is coming on June the 15th, the Nintendo presentation anyways, so we'll have to keep an eye out then to see if they announce any news about Animal Crossing New Horizons. So what do you guys think? Out of these 3 options, do you think any of them are possible for E3? If you have any other options in mind that we could see about the game, definitely let me know in the comments section down below, as I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you made it to the end of the video, be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know that you did. If you want to help support my channel, click the join button down below the video to become a channel member. You can get a whole bunch of cool perks for doing so, and it helps support me and the content I make here too. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more Animal Crossing content.